Hell yeah.
Cool. Hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk.com and with that metalstation.com. And today I'm getting to have a chat with Andrew Neufeld from Canadian hardcore heavyweights Comeback Kid. His amazing album, Heavy Steps. It's their 7th studio album, came out January 21st through Nuclear Blast. And it is an album everyone needs to be cranking the fucking hell out of right now, dude. Loving it, man. Ripping album.
I mean, I would say so. Thanks, Jai. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling really bloody good, man. This album is an absolute barnstormer, man. I'm loving Face the Fire. I just had that one blast and flat out, man. I just want to ask about that track first off before we get going.
Hell yeah. That is, I would say that is like, you know, when we were writing that song, we were thinking about kind of writing something a little bit like throwback, Comeback Kid, you know, something anthemic that the people like wanted to write a song for the people that love Comeback Kid and like love the essence of Comeback Kid and have, you know, so it's a big chorus, anthemic, and you know, a breakdown, and kind of we just tried to put all the ingredients that someone, you know, if you're trying to listen to a Comeback Kid song that you'd want to hear, and we just put out a video for it, and it was a collection of all the shows that we've played, not all the shows, but a collection of a bunch of shows we played in the last 6 months, and you could just tell like, fuck, we're just so happy to be back playing again. I mean, our current tour in Europe is canceled, but we'll be back next month for another tour, and we'll just try to keep on pivoting and, you know, try to make it happen where we can.
Yeah, I love hardcore music, man. It's like one of the fucking bands. Sick of It All when I was a young lad, getting right into that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, we toured Australia with Sick of It All.
Yeah, dude.
We toured 4 continents with them, I think.
That would have been a great show to be there. Can you tell me a little bit about that track, though? That really captured where I was going with that film clip, though. That really captured the vibe of a hardcore show. And I know you were saying that the tour had been recently cancelled. You guys must really be itching at the bit to try and get on the road and play with this album, eh?
Yeah, like we again, with this last 6 months, that's all that footage that you're seeing is all very recent from this last year. And it was going so well. The West Coast was popping. The festivals were going crazy. And then we got COVID at the end of our last tour when the Omicron hit. So we're COVIDed up and we're ready to go again. So, you know, we're having our little break now, but can't keep us in the cage too long, I hope.
Yeah, so did that affect at all the songwriting process and the making of this album? I know through lockdowns or anything, but
not really. The only thing was like we had a huge year planned in 2020, and so if we would have done that, the record probably would have taken even longer to make. Yeah. Then, so all it did is just kind of gave us a little more time to like hone it in.
Can you tell me a little bit about your songwriting process for this album? Tell us how you got this together.
100%. So the band's from Winnipeg. Members live in Vancouver and Toronto as well. So right when the pandemic hit, we would just that's when we started really writing, and we'd write by ourselves generally at home, the 3 main songwriters, and then send each other riffs over email. And then that would kind of be able to, like, you know, someone would send me a riff, and then I could just even mushmouth some lyrics in my room, in my little studio in my room, and just kind of, even if it's like not even like lyrics or just kind of a melody or a pattern, and send it back and say, oh, I like that, or I don't like that, or you can kind of get an informed idea of what everyone else is kind of feeling. Even if I'm sending songs that aren't like super perfect, like at least you kind of get the idea down, and then you can come to the like. That's fine. It's not my fantasy to be doing that. It's the best when you actually are able to meet up. We would meet up in Winnipeg and have, you know, we'd already kind of know each other's songs, and we'd kind of just weed through it and kind of see what feels right. And especially when you get the real drums on there, then you really know if the groove is right and if the vibe is right. So we had maybe 2 or 3 writing sessions, like that would be like 10 days to 2 weeks. And then we actually recorded for a couple months in Winnipeg, and we found out like 2 days into the recording, like, dude, we are not going to finish this in one room. So we had the music going in one room, and I was doing vocals in another room, and had the Pro Tools screen in front of me and editing while I was going. So it was just all hands on deck, you know.
And the recording and production, you worked with John Paul Peters there, who also done the debut album with you, Turn It Around, but you also had Will Putney in there as well.
Yeah, it wasn't really one main producer.
Yeah.
It was just a collaborative effort. JP is someone we really trust. So that's what I was saying. He'd end up doing the music in one studio, then I'd be doing the vocals in the other studio. So there's just a lot of having to trust each other. And then we sent the mix to Will Putney, who's a fantastic producer, mixer, engineer, whatever. And he mixed it there. And then we'd kind of send our notes back and forth, and we reamped the guitars and got a new tone, and you know what I mean? Like things like that. So
how'd you decide on that first single? Because you ended up going, I think it was with No Easy Way Out. Was that the first single off the album? Yeah.
What happened was I'd sent like 5 songs that I thought would be singles to a director that was doing 2 music videos. And I think that he the No Easy Way Out and Heavy Steps go to get the videos go together. So that was kind of his idea. And I knew that Heavy Steps had to be second, because that's when we were going to announce the record. So it was kind of the director kind of led us down that path, and I'll just, like, for the people that are listening, No Easy Way Out, it's a video where we're getting chased through a forest by this like crazy kidnapper, and he has a different weapon for each of us and kidnaps us. And that's the end of that video. And then the next video, you come to learn that he's kidnapped us to play his son's 10th birthday party. And so we're forced to play this birthday party, kind of like a Billy Madison vibe. And the kids don't like us at first, but then we get them to end up throwing down at the end.
Yeah, I love that. I love that first film clip, No Way Out, No Easy Way Out, as it led into Heavy Steps. As a dad myself, I was like, dude, that is so fucking cool, man. It was nice. It was twist on it all. It's like unveils, and it's like, here you go, it's a kid's birthday party.
Yeah, it's jokes. So
yeah, Comeback Kid coming to the kid's birthday near you, man. You worked with Joe Duplantier from Gojira as well on the Cross song.
Yeah, he's that was just a happy accident. We knew someone that works with him, and I need a vocal that was like more long, drawn out scream, kind of like an overlord, void type character on this song. The song's quite hard. So we just kind of asked, and he said yes. And I think he recorded his parts in France, just at his house or something, and sent it back to us. But
yeah, it's been good this last couple of years. I know COVID has been a fucking pain in the ass on musicians all over the world playing live and all that other bullshit, but it's also given artists more time to be able to collaborate with other artists and look at different mediums of being able to try and communicate and share music across the world and make music.
Totally. It's this record has been, just with the music and the videos, has been some of the most collaborative I've ever done projects with. So sometimes it's great to be all confined to one space, but this was a lot of cooks and a lot of countries and a lot of cities going off doing these things. So it was quite cool, and it was just because it's how the world's working now, so we're making the best of it.
And the thing is with support and buying albums, like it's you probably noticed that Comeback Kid have been 20 years together, and it's come around that like playing live is always a big thing, but also like now playing live is a massive thing behind an album. When you drop an album, you really want to be able to tour to get it across to the masses, because half the people think that streaming it and only streaming it, not buying the album or merch off a band, is supporting a band. But
yeah. That's why, dude, I wish we're supposed to be in like UK or Germany or something today. And I'm just like, we're calling each other. I'm calling my guitar player. I'm like, fuck, like, I wish we were fucking doing this tour. But again, there's more shows, next month, and the whole year is going to be packed. So we're just trying to stay positive right now, and hopefully no one fucks up the rest of our year.
Yeah, that's it. Remain optimistic, because I was the same when this year started. I'm like, dude, I'm really, really keen. I want to get some big shows. Like, I love the underground scene and seeing all the bands and the smaller shows, but I'm really keen for some bigger shows and some international bands like Comeback Kid, getting over to Australia, getting some festivals and that. And you guys have been together for over 20 years and made some huge memories and probably have some massive highlights of your 20-year career so far,
especially in Australia. We have a huge history with Australia. I mean, club shows, awesome tours, playing Soundwave, I'll never forget that. Shit like that, it's been a good time out there.
Yeah, I caught you guys at Soundwave. Bloody amazing, amazing shows. Do you have any like really standout highlights that kind of stand out for you so far in this career?
Honestly, I just think back to just some of the craziest shows we've played and just like some of the places we've been able to go. I mean, when I think back to you know, touring South America with Pennywise or playing like Sao Paulo to like 3,000 people, or some of these festivals out in Europe, it's just like amazing crowds. You know, we're playing first and then Blue Oyster Cult's playing on the next stage and next to us, and like just like fucking weird experiences and just the types of, it's cool when you play so many different countries and then you're able to play with like bands that you'd never expect to play with. So that's been pretty dope. Some other like highlights I would say is like playing Moscow. I think some of our craziest shows there. I don't know, dude. It's just I just think back to like the craziest shows where there's the most sing-alongs and stage dives. To be fair, so
Yeah, and you get along to these festivals, they're great. And also the underground shows are so good as well. When you get to those club shows as well, and you have that connection with the fans at those shows, are pretty unreal as well.
100%. The variety is nice. You know, it's nice to change it up, have different environments, indoor, outdoor, you know.
So not being able to play for so long, then getting back into it, what was one of the things you were missing in that period where you weren't able to play to the fans? What was one of the real big things you were missing there?
Dude, I felt like like having a year and a half off playing live shows. What I really felt was I missed being able to exert energy in that way. Like I can work out and do this, that, the other, but I had to like straight up go to rehearsal like the rehearsal space, and take like by myself, because I don't live in the city with the other guys, take off my shirt and like kind of mosh around, sing along to my own record myself, and just kind of just to let out a little bit of steam. I was like really missing that energy. And to the extent where by the time we started playing our first festival, it was electric. Like I felt like light as a feather and just moving smooth. So it's been fun getting back to it. And I hope that we can kind of keep it going so we can kind of get that muscle. We had the muscle memory back, but I feel like it's getting better and better. So.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. How's Canada going at the moment? Like I have interviewed a lot of Canadian bands, and I try and ask bands how we're going at the moment with your local scene. How's things coming through it all at the moment? I know the live scene has been hit again, but how do you feel the scene is going at the moment?
It's hard to say in that way. I think there's just a lot of bands that are just like waiting to play.
Yeah.
You know, you can't even go into a restaurant right now. I think it's going to open up on this weekend a little bit, but we have shows planned in March. It's supposed like they have a plan to open it up. We think it's going to happen, but we got to get contingency dates for a couple more months, and there are a lot of new bands coming out, but it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say what's good. I always said like we'll see who gets out of this, like or who comes out of this. I've seen some bands come out of the pandemic and like they didn't really play too many shows, but they've gotten hyped without even playing shows. And then once it's like, once it's on. So, but it's hard to say really in Canada right now. Like we'll see once we like actually have the shows and open back up.
Yeah, there's some amazing metal coming out of that side of the world. That's for
Fuck
sure,
yeah.
man. Have you got a favorite
sure,
track off of the album? I know it's probably going to fucking change from day to day, week to week, but at the moment, which track's your favorite off the album and why, dude?
Yeah, I got two right now that I'm really feeling. One's called Everything Relates, and that is on the record. When we were recording, our friend SK from Australia, he played in that band These Nuts previously. He hadn't played in a few years, but he passed away while we were recording our record. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where we were still kind of writing it, and I was able to include him in the lyrics and kind of honor him that way. But as we were writing it, I felt like I remembered a riff that he'd written before, called Binge off a Binge in Purgatory record, and I was able to like transpose it and like put it as the intro to our third chorus of that song. So it was just like a special way to you know, shout out to him. And I had the singer of his band, JJ, to do the song with me. He's the singer of D's Nuts and has his own solo thing, JJ. So it was like, you know, it was a soft intro to a chorus that we sang together. And it was just like, to me, that was a beautiful moment every time I hear it. And then on the flip side of that, there's a song called Dead on the Fence. And that is just like the ass beater of the record. We didn't make it a single, which maybe we should have, maybe we shouldn't. So like now the album's out, so, you know, hindsight, but it's one of those sneaky ones that, like, when people are tagging me or something, or people are mentioning the record, they're like, Dead on the Fence, that's the song. So that's like the hard track.
Yeah, that hammers, that one, man. That one had me jumping up and about. Really, really
Fuck
cool
yeah.
track altogether, man. Great, bloody album. And JJ, I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because These Nuts, I love them, man. And that was a really killer track as well.
Hell yeah. And just wanted to, like, you know, send my love to those guys and, you know, SK. And, you know, I feel like that's going to be, hopefully, I just really want to play it in Australia, really. And have people that know what it's about be there for it.
Yeah. I can't wait till we can open up and shows and start. We're just starting to book internationals here, and I'll work behind the bar as well. And everything is shut fucking down here as well, which kind of sucks because all these bands are all getting ready to bloody play. But it kind of gives people more time to buy albums. If you can't go to fucking shows, go buy albums. Go buy this bloody Heavy Steps album. Blast the crap out of it. The neighbors are going to want to hear it as well.
Hell yeah. Or just stream it, steal it, whatever.
Yeah, stream it, steal it, whatever it is, as long as you're playing it loud. Who done the album art for that one, man? That's cool as bloody hell.
His name's Luciano Cauldron. He's, I think, originally from Mexico, but lives in Spain. He's a tattoo artist out there. And it was just the guy that we were a fan of. And luckily he knew Comeback Kid and was familiar. And he crushed it on there. It was hand painted, actually. So.
Yeah, it's really, really nice, man. And I've got to ask, man, 20 years now, man.
22 years now, yeah, 22 years.
Man. Did you see yourself here today doing this 22 years later when you bloody first started this project?
You know, I've been asked that question a few times, and the answer is, I mean, I did not see it. Yeah. I was going to shows when I was a teenager, looking up to bands playing that were the generation above me, and always seen that as a thing that I would like to do. Do I know that we were the last 20 years? Maybe, but maybe in my mind, I was like, okay, Comeback in the last like 10 years, and then I'll be playing music in another band maybe after that. I wasn't sure if Comeback Kid would last, but I think my goal has always been to play music. And Comeback Kid is definitely still my outlet for that, and this is the thing that's still driving me and I'm passionate about. So
awesome, Andrew, this has been an absolute pleasure, man, to get to chat.
My pleasure too.
Heavy Steps, man. I'm hoping to catch you guys over here in Australia once all this shit dies down. Do you have any last words, shout outs, or thank yous you'd like to add in there, my friend?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure. Cheers, mate.